Good morning. In Body Stories Day 5, Andrea Olson talks about evolution and like way back evolution, how all organisms on Earth actually came from bodies of water, and how in a way that means that on a cellular basis, we may have some actual memories of being quite different kinds of organisms. Doesn't mean we actually remember that in our brain. But anyway, she invites us to do some exercises that explore different types of symmetry. As organisms developed, they developed from asymmetrical, meaning that there wasn't any particular symmetry. You think of an amoeba, for example, a single-celled organism that's just protoplasm that moves around um, almost in response to whatever's happening in the environment, to sea creatures that have radial symmetry, where there's a center brain, perhaps, and radiating appendages, to a more bilateral symmetry, where there's a top and a bottom, and then there's two sides that match. And of course, human beings are are members of the mammalian group. We're all bilaterally symmetrical. Anyway, so the exercise is kind of fun. I found it quite challenging and difficult, actually, partly because of not having a an amoeba type body. But the first exercise is to lie on your belly with your arms and legs spread out like you're an X, and imagine that you are floating in a body of water, and actually imagine that you are waterborne creature, formless, shapeless, no symmetry at all, just moving in response to stimulation, and allow your body to move around on the floor, imagining that you're in water. And so you would brush all the parts of your body against the floor or against each other, without any particular structure or format to that. And that would be representing an asymmetrical kind of body. The next one invites us to imagine that our brain and mouth are in our belly. So still lying on the floor in that big X, with your head and your tail also extended. You've got 6 appendages sticking out there: arms, legs, head, and tail. And your brain and your mouth are in your belly, like you were, I don't know, a starfish. I don't know if that's what starfish anatomy looks like. But imagining that, orienting your awareness to the brain in the belly and the mouth in the belly, and then experiencing your radial symmetry. Everything comes out like a starburst. And she invites us to kind of bring one arm over and allow the body to roll all the way over, moving your arms and legs to move the body around on the floor, noticing what it is like to have radial symmetry. And the next part of the exercise invites a bilateral symmetry. So you can allow your awareness of your brain to come back to your head. So imagining that all your sense organs kind of originate there, but still lying on your belly, imagining your arms and legs more like stabilizers, like fins, not like arms and legs. And then allow yourself to imagine you're experiencing your senses all the way down to your tail. So from head to tail, all the way down your spinal cord, that you're experiencing sight all the way down, or sound all the way down, or any of those experiences, even just touch. And then explore movement under those circumstances with the recognition that a bilaterally symmetric organism would have gravity exerting an influence, may have predators, may have the sun exerting an influence. And so therefore would maybe need to move and figure out a way to move. But if you don't have arms and legs that actually function except as stabilizers, then your movement is somewhat limited. And I found myself trying to move, like undulating my spine, which reminded me of when I decided many years ago I was going to actually compete in a triathlon, and I had to learn to really swim for the first time. And I realized that spine movement is such an important part of that. Anyway, that's what I have. There's more in the article below, and I invite you, as always, to take a look at the book, Body Stories, Experiential Anatomy, where we're exploring our bodies as if we were dancers or as if we were somatic therapists. Bye for now.